Welcome to Get Real with Eddie, where we delve deep into the world of real estate with your host, the designated managing broker of Exit Real Estate Specialist, Eddie Ruettiger.
Oh, it's Tuesday at noon. And it's one of those Monday Tuesdays. Nancy's out with the clients. She's running behind today. No worries. We got this. So, gonna talk sports for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. And I just want to say, the Caleb Williams, everybody gave this huge hype, oh, everything amazing, blah, 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 blah. He hadn't even played a game yet. Now he plays a game, a real, actual NFL game, not a preseason game. And now you've got the other side coming out. He's horrible, blah, blah, blah. He's a rookie. They found a way to win. They won the game. So let's all sit back, relax, let him play some football, and go from there. I mean, I had to throw that out there. So for all the Chicago Bears fans out there and, you know, everything going on, just let him play the game. Give him some time to get the snaps down. Give him some time to figure out everything and go from there. All right, with that said, let's talk some real estate. So, the surprising amount of equity you've gained over the years. Could be shocking to know how much equity you have gained in your property in the last few years. Today's home buyers are staying in their home on average 10 years according to the National Association of Realtors, and property values have definitely climbed during this time frame. Home prices have gone up in the last 30 years, 319.1%, according to FHFA. 319.1%, the last 30 years. So basically going back to 1994. Yes, 94 was 30 years ago. In the last 5 years, home prices, however, have gone up 58.4%. It's nearly a 60% increase in property value. This puts an interesting twist on some factors. First off, if you are looking to upsize, downsize, move for whatever reason possible or whatever it may be, you're going to have equity to work with. There's no doubt about it. You're going to have equity in your property. Now, don't forget, you can use that equity for lots of different reasons. Buying the new house is one of them. Paying off high interest debt. Putting someone through school. Starting a business. These are all good reasons to use that equity. Bad reasons to use your equity, of course, are buying a car, buying a boat, buying a jet ski, buying a camper or trailer. Anything that is a depreciating asset. You're taking equity out of an appreciating asset and putting it into a depreciating asset that is not helping you financially. So these are big decisions, big choices you have at your fingertips with this equity. But the other aspect to this equity is the look and the view when it comes to the capital gains aspect. Yes. Capital gains tax on homes. So the article I've got is from I forgot where I yanked this from. It's Chad Langer. I think it's Investopia is where I pulled it off of. Yes, Investopia is where I got it. All right, so you could owe capital gains tax if you sell your house that has appreciated in value because of the capital gains asset. However, thanks to taxpayer relief of 1997, most homeowners are exempt from needing to pay it. However, there are some restrictions that you need to know about. So one of the restrictions is it is only for primary residence. If it's not a primary residence, you will be paying capital gains. The definition of that is you have to have had lived in the property 2 of the last 5 years. So if you have investment property that you've lived in the last 2 years and it became investment property, you're on year 4, you may want to consider selling. Because you're getting out of that 2 last 5 year aspect, you need to look and talk to an accountant on the capital gains aspect and whether you should or shouldn't. Is the property worth hanging on to long term? Are you looking to long term, or is this something you're looking to be short term on, and maybe now is the time to sell it before you hit that 5-year threshold? Talk to your CPA and see what your tax liabilities are pertaining to that property. So now if you sell your primary residence, you have a capital gains exemptions on the first $250,000 if you are single, $500,000 if you married and filed jointly. Again, you have to have lived there for 2 years of the last 5. You can add your cost basis and cost of any improvements that you made to the home to the $250,000 if singled, or $500,000 if married and filing jointly. So keep those receipts pertaining to the home improvements, because that's going to offset so it's important to note, in short-term capital gains are taxes on ordinary income with rates as high as 37% for high-income earners. Long-term capital gains taxes are anywhere from 0 to 28% for small businesses, stocks, and collectibles, with rates applied accordingly to income and tax filing statuses. That's from the actual article. If you are a widow or widower, you may be able to increase the exclusion amount from $250,000 to $500,000 when meeting all of the following conditions. Sell their home within 2 years of the death of the spouse. Haven't remarried at any time of the sale. Neither the seller nor the latent spouse took an exclusion on another home less than 2 years before the date of the current sale of the home. They met the 2-year ownership residency rule. So these are just some things you want to think about when it comes to capital gains and selling your property. Most people in most markets are going to be in a fairly good position on capital gains. Talk to your CPA. So it's topic, if you want to go on more information, just search topic number 701 IRS, sale of your home. Right in Google came up. And it starts off, you have capital gains from the sale of your main home. You may qualify to exclude up to $250,000 of that gain of your income, or $500,000 if you file jointly with your spouse. So, good information to check out on the IRS website. speaking of government agencies, the Federal Reserve is looking, and there's a lot of talk of them cutting the rate coming up. All eyes are on the Federal Reserve and the overwhelming expectation that they'll cut the Fed's fund rate at their upcoming meeting, driving primarily by recent signs that inflation is cooling and the job market is slowing. Mark Zander, chief economist at Moody's Analytics, says they are ready to cut just as long as we don't get an inflationary surprise between now and September, which we won't. Mike Frantron, chief economist at Mortgage Bankers Association, once the Fed kicks off a rate cut cycle, we do expect that mortgage rates will move somewhat lower. Lawrence Yun, chief economist at the National Association of Realtors, says, generally, the rate cut cycle is not one and done. 6 to 8 rounds of rate cuts all through 2025 look likely. So buy the house now, because here's the thing. These rate cuts start. You're going to see a mass movement of buyers coming into the market. Maybe not this September, but you're going to see it in 2025. And you're going to be competing once again for these properties. And you're going to be looking at accelerated price growth with these rate cuts, most likely. Because you're going to have multiple buyers, and I don't see the supply coming on as fast as the buyers are coming into the market. So with that imbalance between supply and demand, you're going to see prices increase. So with that being said, buy the house now, be the hero, get the lower price. Refinance the house later and be the hero and get the better rate then. So the news is good news for buyers and sellers. It helps alleviate the lock-in effect. They're hoping that the lower rates could shake loose sellers that have been sitting on their property for more than 7 to 10 years and getting them out into the market that have been wanting to buy, wanting to sell, but did not want to give up a lower rate to go to a 7 or an 8% rate. And then overall, it's going to boost buyer activity, period, because buyers have been facing 8% rates earlier, over a year ago. I mean, we were at 8 to 8.2 last October. So this is going to be a real going into boom market for real estate. Buy now and be on the advantage. Get the lower price and then refinance for the rate later. Jacob Channel, senior economist at LendingTree, sums it up. Timing the market is basically impossible. If you're always waiting for the perfect market conditions, you're going to be waiting forever. Buy now only if it's a good idea for you. All right, so I'm making the assumption that you want to buy or you want to sell, but more importantly, on the buy. I don't think there's going to be a big advantage or disadvantage whether you sell this year or next year. I think the advantage comes in on the buying side. I think what you will save on the buying side. Because if you hold off, say you got a property to sell, and you hold off, well, I'm going to hold off till next year and get more money for it. Well, the more money that you get is probably offset by the increased price you're going to have to pay. So that's the aspect, unless you're really doing a big difference and a big change in markets. But if you're moving within a certain market and you're just downsizing or upsizing, those factors don't come into play. Now, if you're selling and you're cash and your buys a cash, well then yeah, maybe waiting to next year because you're going to get a little bit more cash, that would hold off and that would be true. Then now it comes down to a lifestyle choice. Can you keep residing in the property you're in for another 6 to 12 months and be comfortable with that space? Whether it's too large, too small, whatever the factor may be that's causing you to want to move, at some point the argument's going to be you could hang on to the property for 5-10 years. And yeah, you're most likely going to get more money. I see rates going up, our prices continuing to go up for the next 4 to 5 years. Because we're just not building housing fast enough for these population increases we're seeing. You look at the net homes versus the net units, net household creation is still outpacing the net homes net units for homes. I'm gonna have to see if I can track down that number. That would be a good number to know. So, all right, let's take a quick look at some numbers here. Let's take a look at Romeoville. Median sales price of Romeoville is $280,000. That is up 4.9% from last year. These are the numbers as of August. So original list price is $289,900 on the average. Oh, I'm sorry, on the median. The market time on the median is 12 days. Percent of original list price to close, 100% in Romeoville. Percentage to list price, last list price is also 100%. That's both on the median. The average they're actually getting on last list to close 100.1%. You want to talk about lack of inventory. On the percent of original list priced, they're getting 103%. Or 100.3%, sorry. There's a point in there. So we are seeing prices over list price in Romeoville in August. Average contract to close, 32 days on the median. Listing to contract, 7 days on the median. Month supply, 1.1 month supply with 38 homes for sale ending August. 528 new listings. That's an increase in listings. You're up 5.2%. That's huge. 5% increase in. Under contract is up by 2.2% to 419 under contract. I expect to see closes. No, closes were down 4.3% to 401. It'll be interesting to see what happens in September with the increased inventory if closings are increased. Showings to contract are 23 days on the average, and showings per listing are 12.6 showings per listing. So that's the wrap up for Romeoville right there. When we get back from the break, I want to talk about early forecasts for 2025. So they're already starting to make their predictions of where the market is headed and where everything is going. So keep it here with Get Real with Eddie. It's Eddie Ruettiger from Exit Real Estate Specialists.
And Get Real with Eddie. I want to bring to your attention the Herbert Trackman Planetarium at Joliet Junior College. My son loves this. They offer free shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. It's perfect for stargazers. The show provides excellent astronomical instruction and entertainment for no charge. That's right, it is free on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. The planetarium features a 30-foot diameter dome, a new OmniStar digital planetarium projector. During the shows, you can enjoy sky tours using the projector and PowerPoint presentations covering a wide range of astronomical topics. For more information, please visit jjc.edu/planetarium. And for you educators out there, they are open for field trip bookings. So go to jjc.edu/planetarium.
Are you ready to make your next move in real estate? Look no further than Exit Real Estate Specialists, your innovative leader in the industry. At Exit, we're not just about transactions. We're about building relationships and fulfilling dreams. Step into a community of empathetic, well-trained professionals dedicated to your success. Our Exit Real Estate professionals are more than just agents. They're your trusted advisors and allies in the journey of buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Whether you're selling your home or searching for your next investment, trust Exit to provide an excellent experience from start to finish. Our commitment to putting people first means you receive personalized attention and support, ensuring your real estate goals are met with success. Call us today at 815-823-5478 or visit exitrealestatespecialist.com to learn more. Exit Real Estate Specialists, exceeding your expectations every step of the way.
It's Get Real with Eddie, where everyone deserves the opportunity of home.
All right. Early forecasts for the housing market for 2025. Mortgage rates are projected to come down. With inflation cooling, rates should continue on a gradual decline. So mortgage rate projections, this is as of September 4th. For Q1, Fannie Mae's at 6.2, MBA's at 6.4, NAR is at 6.5, and Wells Fargo is at 6.1, so averaging 6.3 for all four. Q2 of 2025, Fannie Mae goes to 6.1, MBA goes to 6.3, NAR is at 6.4, and Wells Fargo goes to 5.95. So Wells Fargo is the first one to predict under 6, giving you an average of 6.19. Now, we did hear comments on LinkedIn from the chief economist at NAR, Lawrence Yun, on how the commercial side of the business is going to slow these rate cuts down because the banks need to make up the money that they're losing on the commercial end, and they're going to try to do that on the residential side. So that is a big aspect while you're seeing NAR being the trailer with these rate cuts. I think they're also taking a historical view that, you know, the rates take the elevator up, but they take the stairs down. Fannie Mae for Q3 of 2025 is at 6, MBA is at 6.1, NAR is at 6.3, and Wells Fargo, again, leading the pack with the low number of 5.85, giving you an average of 6.6. Going into the Q4 for next year, Fannie Mae's at 5.9, MBA's at 5.9, NAR is still above 6 at 6.3, and Wells Fargo is at 5.8, giving you your first average under 6% at 5.98. More homes are expected to sell going into 2025. As the rate comes down, more buyers will jump back into the market. The market will lead to more home sales in 2025. So Fannie Mae is predicting 5.2 million sales. MBA is at 5.2 also, with NAR at 5.7, giving you an average of 5.4 from all three. See, and I think that's going to be the big turning factor in the market. The big turning factor to get these rates down is also going to be getting more buyers and sellers in the market. If the banks have the opportunity to make the money over another million units, because right now we're around 4 million this year. We're 4 million last year. Dramatically low, when usually we're selling about 5 million houses a year. This is going to be getting us back to a normal pace, a normal volume on properties. So for us to be at that normal pace and that normal volume is going to give a bigger chunk and a bigger chance for the banks to make revenue so they can go to a lower rate. They don't need to make as much on each individual transaction because they're going to have, another 20% business out there. That's going to make a huge difference. You look at it, McDonald's. McDonald's sells hamburgers on the lower cost side. They look to sell the hamburgers and make the money based on volume, not based on necessarily the price. So that kind of plays into this, I think. I do think we'll see what happens with the rates and everything. Home prices are forecasted to continue to rise in 2025, and I know that's the number our sellers want to hear. Our sellers really want to know, all right, where are we going to be at in 2025 with home prices? So keeping in line, Goldman Sachs, percent of appreciation for 2025. Again, this is as of September 4th. Goldman Sachs comes in at 4.4%. Wells Fargo is seeing a 4.3%. The Home Price Economic Survey came in at 3.2%. Fannie Mae is at 3%. Morgan Stanley's at 3%. The Mortgage Bankers Association's at 2.9%. Zelman and Associates is at 2.3%. The National Association of Realtors comes in at 1.9%. Freddie Mac is at 0.6%. And Moody's Analytics is the lowball at only 0.3%. And I did see an article. Maybe I'll have it next week. I'll have to take a look. There's 10 markets right now. Nothing in Illinois, nothing in this area, but there's 10 markets nationally that have seen price decreases. So we are seeing some price decreases throughout certain markets. Some of this, I think, has to do with individuals having to go back to work in office because we're seeing those policies come into play. Some of it also we're seeing, especially in Florida, the insurance aspect and the HOA, because Florida passed a law requiring a certain amount of reserves for the homeowners associations to now have. And this is to do with that collapse of that beachfront condo association that got completely flooded out a year, maybe 2 years ago. If you remember that big story that made national news, they put in requirements so that the HOAs are actually doing the maintenance that's required for the building. So now insurance is in there, and you also have the aspect of the homeowners associations going on. I heard a story the other day that there was a beachfront property and had a retaining wall, and it came out to about $40,000 per resident to repair this retaining wall. And a lot of the residents bought these properties when they were at a lower price, and they've gone up 50, 60, maybe 100%. And while it may be a very expensive property, they're not having all that disposable cash to be able to pay to fix a $440,000 repair per house, per unit. So that really falls into an interesting situation where you're seeing government regulation kind of pushing some people out of the property. Don't get me wrong, you need to keep up your maintenance on the property. That makes a big, big difference. So the overall average is about 2.6% we're seeing. So you got 2.6% growth when it comes to 2025 on average. I do see our growth being a little higher in our marketplace around, the Chicago metro area and Will County, DuPage County, Kendall, Kane, that southwest corridor for Chicago. I see us probably seeing a lot more around 4 to 5% growth. I see us being at 2 or 3. Now, some little niche markets in our area could be around that, but I do see us averaging more of around a 4 to 5% growth. And we've seen some markets like New Lenox at 10, Plainfield was at 12 to 15. We've been seeing some markets even better than that this year, and those trends could continue as demand for those areas rise. If we see prices start to go back up, that could make a big, big difference. All right, so take a look at 720 Orleans in Ottawa, Illinois. This is a 4-bedroom, 4-bath home listed at $675,000. This features a indoor pool, 4 bedrooms, the 4 baths, a second kitchen in the basement, 2-car garage, a steam room, an extra shower in the pool area, all brick setup. So a beautiful house in Ottawa, in Illinois. 4-bedroom, 4-bath garage, 2-car garage on that, $675,000. It does have Nest thermostat, has LED bulbs, a lot of upgrades and aspects. But honestly, the best part of the property, hands down, is definitely the 20 by 40 pool that is indoor, and the separate hot tub and the sauna that is available. So that's 720 Orleans in Ottawa, Illinois. Definitely check out the property. And if you got questions, give me a call at 815-823-5478. Again, 815-823-5478. Or you can check it out at yourdwellings.com. All right, we're going to hit a quick break. When we get back after the break, I want to talk the latest on the luxury market. And there's some interesting things going on. So keep it here with Get Real with Eddie.
It's Eddie Ruettiger from Exit Real Estate Specialists. And Get Real with Eddie. I want to bring to your attention the Herbert Trackman Planetarium at Joliet Junior College. My son loves this. They offer free shows on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. It's perfect for stargazers. The show provides excellent astronomical instruction and entertainment for no charge. That's right, it is free on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. The planetarium features a 30-foot diameter dome, a new OmniStar digital planetarium projector. During the shows, you can enjoy sky tours using the projector and PowerPoint presentations covering a wide range of astronomical topics. For more information, please visit jjc.edu/planetarium. And for you educators out there, they are open for field trip bookings. So go to jjc.edu/planetarium.
Are you ready to make your next move in real estate? Look no further than Exit Real Estate Specialists, your innovative leader in the industry. At Exit, we're not just about transactions. We're about building relationships and fulfilling dreams. Step into a community of empathetic, well-trained professionals dedicated to your success. Our Exit Real Estate professionals are more than just agents. They're your trusted advisors and allies in the journey of buying, selling, or investing in real estate. Whether you're selling your home or searching for your next investment, trust Exit to provide an excellent experience from start to finish. Our commitment to putting people first means you receive personalized attention and support, ensuring your real estate goals are met with success. Call us today at 815-823-5478 or visit exitrealestatespecialist.com to learn more. Exit Real Estate Specialists, exceeding your expectations every step of the way.
The face for radio, the heart for real estate. It's Get Real with Eddie.
Welcome back to Get Real with Eddie. And walking in from the field from Showing Some Properties is none other than Nancy Vallee. Busy, busy day, huh?
It is a busy day today.
I know. It's been crazy. You missed my rant about the Chicago Bears. So, yes, I had to take a moment because they're picking on this poor kid. I mean, and don't get me wrong. First off, you had everybody claiming he was going to be the second coming. And then we went to now everybody saying, oh, he's horrible. We should have kept the... It was one game, and they still won.
First game.
I know.
Give the boy a chance.
And they won the game.
Okay, well,
And
they won it not because of him, but they did win. And a W is a
the
W.
Exactly. And he went on and he said, yeah, I screwed up. I need to do better. Thank you, defense. I mean, I didn't see the interview. I heard some stories about the interview afterwards. And it's like, that's kind of cool. That's the way it should be. I got to readjust my camera now. There we go.
Sorry, I need adjusting.
I needed adjusting. You were fine.
So, but yes, you know what? It's the Bears. And everybody needs to just pump the brakes and let the boy
play some football
and get a feel for, and the team as a whole needs to adjust to him too. It's different.
Oh yeah.
So.
And you can have as many preseason games as you want, but it's still not the same as playing a regular NFL football game. It is not the same.
It's not the same. And you can't tell me that boy did not have some nerves going on.
Oh, I imagine so. And even having, I think it was like his passing rating was like 58 or something like that. Having a horrible game, still finding a way to make a win.
Yeah.
They
won. They did it. They did well as a team.
But that gives him confidence.
Yeah.
Gives him confidence.
They'll get there.
I know.
I mean, I think they'll do much better than they did last year. They're obviously not going to go to the Super Bowl.
No, I don't. I'm not expecting that.
They got some work to do to get up to the Chiefs and that
absolutely.
kind of level.
Absolutely.
But will they make a better show? Yeah.
But
yes.
Here's the best part about it is the problems that I did see were all problems that can be corrected and corrected easily.
Yeah. I didn't watch the whole game, so I can't comment on the whole game. But
I didn't watch the whole game either, but yes. I mean, what I did see between the game and then whatchamacallit.
I want to say they'll be fine. They'll be fine.
All right, let's get into some real estate talk.
Okay.
The latest on the luxury market, the number of luxury homes is growing. The top of the market or luxury homes can mean different things depending on where you live, but generally these are the homes that are in the top 5% price range in any area. According to a recent report, Redfin, the average value of those homes has risen to over $1 million. That means the sales price for a U.S. luxury home, defined as the top 5% of listings, rose 9% year over year to a record $1.18 million during the second quarter. That's big. To see that you're seeing luxury properties selling and they're going up in price.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's a sign that shows the housing shortage that we're having. The lack of supply. Because
oh, yeah. Because even it's hitting even the luxury market, and that's tended to always be kind of laggy.
Mm-hmm. According to Augustus Luxury Market Report, by the end of July, the overall growth in volume of sales in 2024 stood at 14.82 for single-family homes and 11.35 for attached homes compared to the same period in 2023. That is a huge jump in sales to go up 14%.
Yeah, that's big. That's big.
So to see a 14% increase in sales in any kind of market,
Yeah.
you know, you missed we were looking at what the numbers are going to be, and they're looking at going to 5 million sales next year for 2025. That nationally, we're going to be around 5 to 5.1 in units.
We need to.
Oh, I agree. I completely
We
agree.
have been so pent up
So, but
for the last couple of years.
But if you look at that increase in sales volume is going to be huge for the industry as a whole.
Oh, yeah. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see how we go. Very interested to look at the next year.
But in that same aspect, while listings went up 5%, 9% rose year over year during the second quarter for price. So we're in a market where you think, oh, there's more listings coming to the market, so prices should fall. No, because you have still a huge amount of pent-up demand. It's not meeting all of the demand. Until the demand is met, you are not going to see prices come down.
No. Now, I don't see hair on fire like we did a couple of years ago, just because affordability is still a factor, even though interest rates are going to come down a little bit, and we are starting to see some build. I don't see it. You know, we'd have to drop down to those 3% interest rates to get that hair on fire again, and it's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
I think it's going to be busy. I still think you buy the house now. If you need to buy.
Absolutely, because the prices are going to go up.
Yeah, buy the house now as we see the market move in this direction, and then refinance the house later.
Yeah, I just don't see the hair on fire people rushing in.
No, it's going to be a trickle.
It's going to be
But
trickle to brisk.
It's going to be brisk. I think
A
brisk.
market.
It's going to be more. Everybody predicted these boomers were going to sell. The boomers are going to sell. The boomers are going to do this. The boomers are a 20-year age gap, and they're the ones trickling in here and there, and in little bits.
Yeah. Speaking as a boomer,
Yeah.
we're not going anywhere. We love our house. We're doing our thing, and there are a lot of boomers that are like that. They love their home. They're doing their thing. So, as people age out, yes, or have issues or want to get closer to family and so forth, yeah, they'll trickle in, but it's not going to be a mass sale. You're not going to see just, where would they go? Again, that's
the valid point. Where do they go?
And that's the whole thing. 55 plus communities now, they're building more around in our area. That kind of thing. They are building.
Also starting to build zero maintenance, but not 55. They cut your grass, they plow your snow, but it's not 55 and older. And I like that.
I love that, because it builds that sense of community.
Yep.
Not that 55 plus doesn't have a good sense of community, but you know what? I like young families living next to me. I like watching the kids grow up. Man, do I sound really old? But it's true, I get a kick out of watching the littles, run around in there with their toys and stuff.
You're not the only one. I will stop and wave at a little kid, especially if they're like 7 or under. And I don't know if it's because mine's 7 and I don't have that little anymore. But like, I was coming home from the office yesterday, and there was one on her bike on training wheels, probably 5.
Aww.
And going towards her driveway.
Yeah.
So kind of in the middle of the street. I stopped to let him cross, but she coming by my door and she's looking at me the whole time. So I'm just waving, and she's smiling.
They're so cute. I mean, it's a big deal.
It is a big deal. So
Big deal to be on that bike.
I mean, I remember that. I had that early with Eddie because he had that balance bike.
Yeah.
And so he was sitting there. There was no training wheels. There was new bike, dad take off the stabilizers. Wife is out with the cousin. And I'm thinking, okay, we're going to do a run behind 3 or 4 times, and by the time mom gets home, he might be riding his bike for the first time.
Yeah.
No, we get the training wheels off. Because of that balance bike, I'm telling you, folks, you're looking for a Christmas gift for somebody that is not riding a bike yet, under the age of 6, look at these balance bikes.
How old was he when he got his first balance bike?
2.
Was he?
He got
I'm
one at
thinking
2.
maybe for Anaya for her birthday.
One
next
at
year.
2, and we got then another one a little bit
She'll
bigger
be
at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. There is a nice one I got for my nephews at Sam's Club.
Oh.
I mean, because it was a nice one. So keep an eye on Sam's Club. They had a really nice balance bike there. Yeah.
Because she'll be just the right age for that next year.
Yeah. It's cool because then you can go for bike rides with kids. He flew on that balance bike. I mean, you've seen videos online.
I've seen videos. He is just
He
rocking it.
He
on
was
it.
cruising, so you could actually do bike rides. It's not like, and he learned really quick. You don't cross the street. You wait for dad. All of those rules.
Yeah.
If you want to go for a bike ride, okay, but you have to listen. When I say stop, you have to stop. You don't cross the street. And he got it right off the bat. Did not.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a beast. And he still
for
is a
him.
beast when it comes to doing bike rides.
Yeah.
So we need to go for a bike ride one more time this year because I
One
realized.
more. You need to go a bunch. It's going to be nice.
We haven't gotten one in a little bit, and because of it, the weather's starting to change fast. We're supposed to get a heat wave coming up here, so
Yeah,
it's supposed to
yeah.
just warm up the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But then I think we'll start changing back the other way.
Well, let's see. I got my fingers crossed. I want to get a couple more weeks of pool time in.
I knew you were going to say that. Just a couple more weeks of pool
Just a
time.
couple more weeks. This is the sad time. I do a lot of when I go out to the pool.
You look at building that extension off the back of the house and turn it into an indoor pool. You have the backyard.
Or just buy the one in Ottawa. Is that?
There you go. You know what? I like that idea much better. You should buy the house in Ottawa for the indoor pool, and that solves all your problems.
Yeah. John's still working.
So,
We're not going anywhere. We like our house.
how much more time's he got?
A couple more years.
Just a couple more years.
Yeah.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah. I got to get old enough to, do the insurance thing.
So it's you that's making him work.
He's working for me. Yes.
Wow,
Yes, he is.
what a guy!
Gotta love him.
You should take him out to dinner tonight for that.
I
I'm just
should.
saying.
I should.
You really
I
should.
take
So
him out to dinner a lot because I don't feel like cooking.
I understand that. And you know what? When it's just 2 of you versus when you got a bunch of kids, it sometimes can be cheaper. It really can be.
It can. It's when I want a cocktail that it gets expensive. So
Those cocktails do add up rather quickly.
yeah, they do.
All right, so I would be remorse before we say goodbye today, because we're just coming to the end, if I did not pay honor to James Earl Jones passing.
Yeah.
Mufasa, Coming to America, Conan.
Darth Vader.
And you beat me to the punch. The voice of Darth Vader has moved on to the Force. So it's just iconic voice. Did you know that a couple years ago Disney had him come in and record? And they recorded all of these words and things, and because of it, now they can generate Darth Vader's voice forever in AI.
Wow.
So his voice will live on forever.
That's cool. Well, he was quite an actor and plays, stage plays, and movies, and TV for a long time. Like back in the 70s, he was happening.
He was in all of the stuff with Harrison Ford, Clear and Present Danger, and all of those novels. He played his CIA mentor. I mean, he just
did a lot of firsts.
He was in Hunt for Red October.
He was in all kinds of daytime dramas and stuff. And and he had a lisp as a child. And was mute for a while.
He stuttered too. He stuttered.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, thank you to James Earl Jones, and don't forget, check us out online, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Get Real with Eddie, giving you all the information you need when it comes to the housing market at GetRealWithEddie.com, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Thanks for listening. Eddie Ruettiger is the designated managing broker and owner of Exit Real Estate Specialists, located at 2750 Caton Farm Road, Joliet. License number 481014247. For questions, call Eddie at 815-823-5478.